On December 5, 2025, the Detroit Lions delivered one of their most complete and decisive performances of the season, defeating the Dallas Cowboys 44-30 at Ford Field. This matchup carried playoff implications for both sides, and the energy inside the stadium reflected the magnitude of the moment. Detroit entered the game with an opportunity to strengthen its postseason position, while Dallas looked to recover from inconsistent play and remain alive in the NFC race. From the very first drive, it became clear that this was going to be Detroit's night. Behind a dominant rushing performance from Jahmyr Gibbs, a disciplined outing from Jared Goff, and a defensive front that relentlessly pressured Dak Prescott, the Lions controlled all phases of the game. The final score reflected not just offensive firepower, but also superior game management, defensive execution, and mental composure. What follows is a complete, clean, and detailed breakdown of everything that shaped this game. The momentum swings, standout players, tactical decisions, and larger implications for both franchises moving forward. Detroit began the game with a clear identity: play fast, stay physical, and dictate the pace. The Lions emphasized the run early, feeding Jahmyr Gibbs behind a well-coordinated offensive line that created consistent lanes. Gibbs showcased his trademark acceleration and lateral quickness, picking up chunk gains that forced the Cowboys to adjust their defensive fronts. Dallas opened with a promising drive of their own, leading to an early field goal. Prescott looked comfortable in the pocket initially, completing short and intermediate throws that helped Dallas move into scoring position. But even in these early minutes, Detroit's defensive pressure began to surface. The Lions brought creative stunts, disguised blitz looks, and collapsed the interior pocket often enough to disrupt Prescott's rhythm. Detroit responded quickly on offense, mixing designed runs with controlled passing plays. Jared Goff distributed the ball efficiently, particularly to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who continued to be a reliable chain mover. The Lions capped their first strong drive with Gibbs punching in his first touchdown of the evening on a beautifully blocked run that left the Cowboys linebackers guessing. By the end of the first quarter, Detroit held a narrow lead, but the difference in physicality and execution was already obvious. The second quarter belonged almost entirely to the Lions. Their defensive front intensified its pressure on Dak Prescott. Aiden Hutchinson and Olam McNeil consistently won their matchups, forcing hurried throws and collapsing the Cowboys' offensive structure. Coming out of halftime, Dallas knew it needed to strike quickly. Prescott delivered a promising start by completing a deep pass to Lamb, briefly igniting hope for a Cowboys comeback. However, Detroit's defense once again rose to the moment. On a critical third down, Hutchinson beat his blocker cleanly and hit Prescott from behind, forcing an off-target throw that landed in the hands of Detroit's secondary for their second interception of the night. The turnover silenced Dallas' momentum entirely and set up the most pivotal scoring drive of the game. Detroit wasted no time capitalizing. Gibbs delivered the highlight run of the night, a 25-yard touchdown burst where he bounced outside, accelerated past defenders, and finished with authority. This score extended Detroit's lead significantly and shifted control heavily in their favor. For the remainder of the third quarter, Detroit's defense continued its dominant performance. The Cowboys struggled to establish any meaningful rhythm, held back by constant pressure, penalties, and forced third-and-long situations. Detroit entered the fourth quarter with full momentum and a double-digit lead. The fourth quarter showcased Detroit's ability to finish games with poise and authority. Dallas managed to add one more touchdown, briefly narrowing the gap and introducing a hint of drama. But Detroit answered immediately with one of the most important drives of the game. This possession was a mix of disciplined clock management and confident play design. Gibbs capped the drive with his third touchdown of the night. A powerful goal-line run where he absorbed contact, pushed through defenders, and extended the ball over the plane. This touchdown effectively sealed the outcome. Defensively, Detroit remained aggressive until the final whistle. The Lions accumulated 5 sacks, continuous quarterback hits, and tight coverage across the secondary. Dallas' offensive line struggled throughout the night, and their inability to protect Prescott prevented any real comeback attempt. Detroit closed out the game with smart clock management and efficient ball control, securing a 44-30 victory that felt as commanding as the scoreboard suggested. Without question, Jahmyr Gibbs delivered a career-defining performance. His 3-touchdown night showcased every aspect of his skill set: burst, balance, patience, acceleration, and finishing power. He dictated the pace of the game and forced Dallas to adjust defensively, yet they never found an answer. Gibbs reaffirmed himself as one of the league's most dynamic young running backs, capable of changing the momentum of a game at any moment. While Gibbs stole the spotlight, Jared Goff provided the steady veteran leadership that Detroit needed. He avoided risky throws, managed the game effectively, made timely completions, and maintained control of the offense throughout the night. His poise under pressure and ability to sustain drives were crucial to Detroit's success. Detroit's defense deserves enormous credit for this victory. Multiple players stood out. Aiden Hutchinson, disruptive all game, creating pressure that led directly to turnovers. Olam McNeil, controlled the interior line and shut down Dallas' inside run game. Secondary unit, disciplined coverage, strong tackling, and 2 interceptions. The Lions played with physicality, discipline, and confidence. A true playoff-caliber defensive performance. This win strengthens Detroit's playoff position and reinforces their status as a legitimate NFC contender. They demonstrated balance, resilience, and high-level execution. Their offense showed versatility, their defense showed toughness, and their coaching displayed strategic clarity. If the Lions maintain this form, they have the potential to make a deep postseason run. For the Cowboys, this game highlighted several concerning issues. Inconsistent pass protection. Dependence on big plays instead of sustained drives. Difficulty defending misdirection and outside runs. Turnovers in critical moments. Dallas is now in a more challenging position in the playoff race. Improvements are urgently needed, especially along the offensive line and in defensive adjustments. The Detroit Lions' 44-30 victory over the Dallas Cowboys on December 5, 2025, was a complete team performance defined by physicality, smart coaching, and standout individual efforts. Detroit looked confident, composed, and playoff-ready. With Jahmyr Gibbs delivering a 3-touchdown masterpiece and the defense controlling the game from start to finish, the Lions sent a clear message to the rest of the NFL. They are a dangerous, well-coached, and fully capable team that belongs in the postseason conversation. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement.